Alright. So last time I wasted about an hour just fixing the responsiveness of this paginator. But now, at a certain screen size, it properly breaks in half instead of just going off screen, which is great, especially for mobile, as I'm sure you can imagine, because what are you complaining about? I'll have to look into that later. Before on mobile, this was going all the way out here, and that would make the site literally unusable on mobile. So, one last thing to fix up for the display is to get rid of this here, because it's going to be list only at a certain size. Anyway, so what I actually want to do is, so I have that column nav bar. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you hiding? Oh. Wait, no. Where did I? Oh. I'm in the wrong component. I should be in dashboard page. Why am I in? Yeah, so at LG this is 12. At SM this is 2, but is there an XS? There's only one way to find out. Jesus. Oof. All allergies today. Sorry. Alright, so that's at less than 576, so. So at that point it goes back to there. Yeah, that should be fine. Grid, but yeah, under 576, it really should go away and just be list only. So at this point or bigger, we would retain the triple cards, but I'd have to probably limit other things within the cards based on yeah, that does complicate things a bit. I might want to make it disappear after small rather than extra small. So what's the small breakpoint? Small breakpoint is less than 768. Is that going too far? $768. MD, LG. LG. So at LG it has to switch to 12 and 12 because of the sidebar. It has to move out of the way of the sidebar, and then once there's enough space again for everything at XL. And that's from that point forward. So here or bigger. You can have everything next to each other again. So just for here, to make room for the sidebar, that drops down. And then down to SM. So I should change this SM to an MD. Okay, and then yeah, so from extra small up, it's 12. And of course, mobile. And then all the way up to MD is greater than 768. Do we want to retain it at SM? Okay, so SM is as low as 576, right? See, 576. Yeah, I think we might want it to be forced to be a list at that size. $768. That's 768. Let's see, 768. Here, if there were 3 cards, it would be pretty tight. But around here is where it roughly becomes valid to have a grid, where you could have 3 cards of things and still have a decent, visible, readable amount of data displayed in them. So from MD up is when we want to allow cards, and from... So let's look for... min breakpoint. Okay. Grid. Okay, utilities. Components, forms, hide. Functionality. Please slow down. Gotta get the right. Dnone. Okay. Six. Okay, so we want dnone. Okay. How do we combine styles again? No, we had. Let's look for an instance of Last name. Ah, okay. Yeah. So you just go like that and that. Okay. $768 is the... Yep, it disappears. Okay. Alright. Then what we're gonna have to do then is make the class for the items be we're gonna have to style it so that it's the list by default, and then have an additional class that's inserted when the item display number is 1. And that class will override that style to turn it into the 3-wide grid. And then so it's going to have an @media in it, so that it stops taking effect at a certain screen size. That way, the selection is preserved, and when you expand the screen back out, everything will turn back into a grid automatically. One thing I want to avoid is implementing this in a way where I have to programmatically check for screen resizing in the TS if it can be helped, and adding and removing classes dynamically based on resize events. If I can do this in a pure CSS sort of way, that spares me having to add extra event handlers. It'll be a little more lightweight that way in terms of the code. So that's what I prefer. That's how I'd rather go about this. But first things first, I think we need to load some damn items already. We're well overdue for it. let's get some item data up in here, and then worry about how to display those items. I also want to start displaying images, even though we don't have any images yet, but we'll be adding images soon enough. That'll come down the road, but once we have the dashboard basically built out, it's just a matter of connecting everything, you know, connecting category filters and searches. And then before we go to the container page, so there won't be any filtering by containers yet. Right, I'll display items, paginate items, and then filter by category, and implement search as well. We're not going to do a debounce type of thing after you stop typing for some period for this search bar. This is more the kind of search bar where you might start to type something and then change your mind, so I don't want to just automatically assume that because you finished typing, it should just start changing your loaded data or anything. So this is just going to be a simple, when you hit enter or click the button, it'll submit the search. And it won't be presumptuous otherwise. So let's get those items, get that items index API up. Alright, so first of all, containers, beat, items, API, URL, okay. Okay, Ruby, bin, Rails, routes. Just want to double check. Yeah, better do that. Eventually gonna have to fix this as well. Get items, yep. Alright, constants. In the world? Forgot semicolons. Beat. Talk of sin. This is it. Alright, so new file. That's service.ts. Alright. Fetch all items. I have to look at some pagination examples. Okay. Page number equals 1, yep. Okay. Okay. Const token. We really shouldn't be storing these things in plain text in the in local storage. There are libraries that obfuscate this, and we might down the road implement that as well. Const. Now, Deanon, the fellow whose tutorials I used to build the second third of the blog application, he made search and fetch be separate APIs, but I don't see any reason why you couldn't include a search query in the fetch and just have one fetch API that handles both page number and search query. I think it was just an excuse to, for the tutorial's sake, demonstrate implementing your own hook as well, where you alternate between requests and populate the data. Don't really have a need for anything like this in this application. Didn't really have a need for it in the other app, in the blog application. It was just more for demonstration purposes that it was implemented this way, I feel. And I'm not going to implement something in a more complicated way just for demonstration purposes for this application. I'm going to do it the most appropriate way. This was a tutorial. I mean, this was cobbled together from 2 tutorials and then random exploration to finish up the last few components and features that I wanted in before I could call it done. So the first part was building a solely Rails application that had a Rails UI, including the views. The second part was converting it to an API. And then, oh, what in the world? That's weird. That shouldn't be there. And then creating the React front end. And then the third part was just finishing up other features that I wanted to be in it to be able to call it complete. This is meant to actually be used. It has a very specific use. It has a very limited use. I've designed it in ways that would make it without a substantial modification, unusable on a public-facing server. Right, like the fact that users don't even have emails, for example. This is meant to be an internal tool that you put on an internal server and access from within your internal network, so certain design choices are reflected in that. Wait, fetch. Oh, oops, I forgot the equal sign. Ams API URL. Is that right? Oh. Yep, that's right. Yeah. Yep. Now, one thing I want to look into is array. If IDs to Rails and a GET request, simply name your variable with square brackets at the end. Like a prime. Parameters. Nice. Okay. I want to hold on to that. Yeah, eventually I'm moving to a new computer and I'll be able to set up new bookmarks because I have no bookmarks on Chrome on the new computer. And I like to keep it so that I don't have any more than can be... Oh, look at that. I have more than can be displayed on a full screen. Mostly it's just like art tutorial stuff like that, you know? You know? And of course this fella, also artist, you know? I haven't drawn much though lately. Anyway. It's not worth it to put this as a bookmark now anyway, because I'm going to be moving to new computers in a couple of days. I just have to move more files over. Install more software, install Ruby, of course. VS Code, Git, all those things. What's your major malfunction? You go away. So yeah, I can pass the array of categories that I want to filter by, so that's good. That's good, 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 good. So that'll also be a thing. But for now, I'm just focused on page number. Export. So I will be able to make this just one big query. Now, I really don't need a separate search API from the fetch API for items. Again, that was just for demonstration purposes. I think the way that was implemented, I don't think that was a practical way to implement that. That was just the nature of that tutorial, so that he had an excuse to demonstrate hooks. What I am going to do, though, is visual items. There we go. We have that. So now dashboard page. We have set page. Okay. Const. Items per page. Use state 24. Items per page. Const. Total items. Zero. Okay. Article list. So let me first load. We'll set articles equals just any. Now let's fetch articles. Current page. Okay. Fetched articles. Use effect. Articles. Loading per page. So we're getting the per page from this. So use articles data. So per page. So this is just moved from the other thing. So page, search term, page. So could externalize it as a hook, but don't necessarily have to. So for now, we're just concerned about use page. Another example of something like this would be admin users. We have rows per page and page. And then it's just, load users. But I have the function outside of the use effect because it's also called by the refresh button. So MUI paginator is 0 indexed, but common ARI is 1 indexed. Yeah, so that's the MUI paginator. It just so happens that our React Bootstrap paginator is 1 indexed as well, so I don't have to worry too much about that. So, yeah, we just need a use effect. Syntax with again. Yeah. Okay, so just page for now. Eventually have to find a way to hook into the search bar and the left nav. Actually, I should use a hook for this for different reasons. Not because there's a complicated logic like the double APIs that have to be switched between, but because I'm going to be calling this logic from multiple places. I'll build it here now, but I'm going to want to refactor this down the road and make this be a hook, and maybe make these be a component external to the dashboard page. Put it in shared components or something. So shared components and shared hooks. Because I'm going to need to re-implement the same exact thing in the containers page. So for now, I'll just implement it in place here. But it's going to have to be moved because it's going to be referenced in 2 places. And I don't want to have redundant code, if it can be helped. So for now, we just, stay the course just to have it working. So. Yeah, so let's try. Oh, I need an item. Shit. If data.items. Const items equals array. Models. Okay. Item name, item description, item notes, item children. Just gonna move that. ID, name, description, notes. Right. The fuck? ID, description, notes. Okay. Yeah, item model. And set items. So, item display. Items.map. Map. Item model. So. Oh. Param and items controller. Okay, items controller. Param. Param. Okay. Little typo there. Or should I just logged out stupidly? Okay, well, we're loading our items. Where's the pages? Oh, hold on. We also have to set up the, so in our response data, we're getting our items, we're also getting total count and per page. So, total count per page. Total count for per page 24. So, article list. Comes from the hook and per page. Total and per page. Current page. Handle page change. Set current page. Okay. Okay. So we're going to do that because that'll allow us to navigate to a page. Yeah. Okay. Set items, initial page, items per page, total items. Okay. Do that. Set search params. Page as known as URL search params. Wow, it's kind of hacky. That as unknown bit. Okay, so when a page change, this will update the address bar to include the search params, and this will get it from the address bar when you navigate. Total items, set items per page. Set total items. And of course, set total items, set per page. Okay. Okay. That should do it. That should give us the complete controller. Alright. What's interesting is that should, in theory, like that could be round, but that shouldn't be round, right? I feel like navbar component dashboard module. Where is it? items.service. No, where is it? Where's components? Yeah, this. There should be unsetting on middle items, and every single one of these should be class middle item. That includes page 1, right? Okay, active. That should have the middle item class. It's a span, not an A. Huh. I wonder then. Where is it? I keep misplacing it. There we go. I believe that's correct. Yep, just want to double check. Yep. Figured star. Yeah, that was a good guess. So now the only thing I additionally have to do is go into pagination.tsx and add class name equals middle item to the previous and next. Because everything but first and last is a middle item. And that cleans that up nicely. Alright. So, our paginator CSS is all fixed up. We got our items loading. You just have to actually build cards for them. But we're loading from the database. We could probably populate a few items. So let's just go in and, because now the paginator doesn't really display much of anything, and we kind of need more than 24 items. I could always delete these after the fact just so that we have something to display here. So console. So for anything else, I created mostly serious containers, except for the cookie jar that should be deleted at some point. But all serious categories that'll leave in. But I'm gonna create some temporary items I'm just gonna destroy. So I equals item dot new. No, it should be, I believe it would be a token description. Nope. It is, quote, okay. Okay. I guess that does work. I want to double check. Just want to double check the syntax there. I think notes are also necessary. Are they? I don't remember. Yeah, let's just leave that. I.save and see if we get an error. Yeah, it just works. Okay, so. Okay. Okay, just until we get 2 pages worth. Oh, it's Bungo Man. Hi, Bungo Man. I'm just fudging bullshit data the stupid way. Just until I have, yep. There we go. And of course, it's in chronological order. So we got 2 pages. Alright, so now we can start working on the component to display them. And of course, switch between the 2 views. So, I think the first thing I'd want to do is work on the list view. And have the card view override that. And only at certain sizes override it. So, you know, when you get down to here, to where the toggle disappears. So we need place for an image. So first things first is we're returning image data yet? Let's see, console work item. Yep, we got image URL. Okay. So I already implemented that. So item.model. So item.image image. Just want to double check how I did this for article real quick. Models, article model, image. Oh, that's how I did it. I'm not populating it there? Huh. I guess I only... Yeah, I never really used this for the... Sort of half-assed this one. That's the problem. So I'm not really populating it from the data there. I'm just in article list. What I did was where do I handle the image? Okay. Yeah. Okay, it's just like that. Yeah, I'm gonna do it the same way here. So. First off, yes, yeah, because it does need to be able to save too, so I want to do it the same way as there. So where's article? Where do I put my models? Shared models, article model. Yeah, the same file, undefined null. Better make it string as well to be safe. Yeah. It's null dot image. Well, maybe image and image URL should be 2 separate things. Use an image file undefined or null for saving the image. Yeah. And then yeah, better do it that way. Mm. There we go. Just to make it clear. That might be a better way to go about that. So we've got test item, please ignore. Got image URL. Okay, so we need to go to dashboard. Okay, we've got column. So for items.map, so this is going to be a whole thing. So just leave that there for now, just as a placeholder. So again, what I want to do is kind of like what they have on Lowe's. Come on, give me something. Yeah, Brave Freezer, sure. Same deal. Where it's picture to the left and then description and notes. Or just picture and description. And then, of course, other controllers afterwards. But I just want by 10 o'clock to have pictures and descriptions. At least up on this listed. Get to that point, and then call it a night. Same 2-hour deal as any other night. Okay, so item model. Okay, so I think is going to be a card. Components. Cards. Something like this. Yeah. But then it's a matter of image variant top, width. So here's where I'd be messing with it a bit. It's going to be a percentage width. That's going to be dependent on which of those things is selected, I think. Script, cross, yeah. Really just need the basic example, so I am going to just take that and roll with it. So I need a card style, so I'm just going to set this over here so I can see it. Base my code off of it loosely. I'm not going to need this now because it's going to be one contained thing. Okay. Style equals width. We'll just do that for now. Then implement the logic to switch between list and grid view after. Okay, so card.image variant equals top. And of course the source will be similar to this from the old blog application that I previously wrote, so I just want to double check that logic. Article form, article list. I need no image. No image is, yeah, image not found. Gotta go here, get no image. Why don't you go in your styles actually? And I just want to double check. Oh, that image is indeed not found. Hold on, that path might be wrong. So, let me just go to app, assets, image. Yeah, no, that's it. That's the right path. It's just not displaying right there. That's, I guess that's just an issue of VS Code, but yeah, image not found. Anyway, so we have that. So logic there is going to be source equals item.image URL, otherwise image not found. Yeah, so yeah, so yeah, it is still source equals item.image URL, no image. Okay, and yeah, that should be the entirety of that. And then, of course, card.body, card.title, description. Okay, and card.text. And we don't need a button at the moment, really. Probably have a small array of buttons along the bottom, actually. That'll just be icon buttons with tooltips. I do have to add tooltips to some of these buttons. These toggle buttons should really have tooltips around them. Card.text, and of course, item.notes. And we'll see how that works. Right, test item, please ignore. Well, sort of. We got something. Okay. Just need to add a little padding around them, of course. So we'll give them a little bit of padding. So card style equals class name equals, what do we got? Styles dot item card. What was it called again? Item display, item display. See if that does it. No, that's not anything. Let's try this then. Again, still need to react a little bit. So, and display. Okay, and then we do a little of that. Still doesn't like that. This appears to be unintentionally used type string and number, no overlap. Oh! That's because that's a string, derp. So I bet I didn't have to do all that. Let's try this. Then let's just see what happens if I delete that, and that. Okay, that just works. Okay, I should have actually paid attention to what the error was. Okay, so that's just temporary. I'm going to actually change that from style to class, and then make it so that class is inactive under a certain size, but that's okay. Got that working. So article image. No, wrong thing. Sorry. So item card. Dashboard module. I'll put it here for now, but eventually that's going to be turned into a component because these cards are going to have to be available from the container pages eventually. Oh, gotta log out and in again. Still have to fix the refresh issue for the tokens because they just expire after 30 minutes flat, no matter what. That's an issue for down the road, but yeah, currently we are starting to see the vestiges of a grid view. So, display. Let's see what the best display would be for these. So first of all, class equals card. Okay, styles. Display. Block, inline block. Let's put it on the card class. Inline block, blocks. Okay, it's not overwriting. That's annoying. Must be getting overridden somewhere else. So let me just go find where display is computed from and overwrite it there for testing. Display flex. Oh. And this is on card? Oh, I see. So what if we just did a little inline flex? Boom. Beautiful. Love it. Okay, so inline flex it is. Okay, so far so good. Okay. So, inline flex is a go-to. Okay. And then put a little padding around them. Padding, 1 REM to start should be good. I'll play with it from there. Bit more? Bit more. Not padding. Sorry, that should have been margin. I always swap those two. Margin. There we go. Margin. Well, it's pretty responsive. But now, where's my image? That's what I want to know. Where's my image at? Okay, so the source is blank. So I have to check something. It shouldn't be. See, my problem is I did a if null default, but I'm setting it to an empty string, so I should have caught that. So what I want to do in the UI itself, I'm torn between double checking and null here, but now I should allow it to be an empty string or null and handle both cases properly. So rather than force it to be null if it's an empty string. Because that's the thing, this could come back null, and then it'll default to an empty string, or it comes back as an empty string. So either way, it's an empty string. So let's just do that. There we go. Test item, please ignore. There we go. We're starting to see a little something. And that is... See, that's another thing. I need to do this a little differently because I want my image to display off to the side. I also want to limit the size of it. So I can't really rely on the stock React Bootstrap card class. Now, can I? I also want to take this image size in a little bit. I also have to do something about the overflow on this here. Yeah. So I need to control the height of this. This I am here. Because I want the scroll bar to not be on the page, I want the scroll bar to be on this this element so that you see the left nav doesn't just disappear. And we expand some containers. Yeah, that's scrollable. Right. And then you see that disappears. So we want that to stay aligned with the bottom there. So, yep. I also want it to be 3 in a row. So it needs some adjusting. Okay, so what I might want to do then, instead of card, is call with a special class around it. Well, right now we have item card, so instead of this style, we'll do call. And then from there, actually, I don't have to do any special at media. Yeah, why didn't I think of that from the beginning? Just use a column instead of a card, right? And now I have it as, where do I disappear? D none, so from MD, so call XS 12. Check this out, check this out. This is going to do exactly what I need without any extra classes, so. Because what I was going to do was have an at media around the item card class in this here module, and under a certain size force it to always be full width, but here's what we do. Call XS 12, and then MD and up equals item display equals 1. then it's going to be 4. Otherwise 12 anyway. How's that? So that should give us what we need with minimal fuss. I can take the extra margin off. Display inline flex. I really don't need that either. Well, it's a column, so it should be just... I guess I need a container and row. So let me drop a container and row in there. Well, actually, this is a row. This is a container, so I actually just need a row. Let's just get the row. I mean, it's a container. Derp. So let's just do that, and that, and that. Save, and boom. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Now I do something to control these image sizes. Yeah, I really gotta control these image sizes. But it's coming together. So we don't want card image, we just want image. So don't really need style here then. It's a column. Image source, card body, card title. Is So depending on the display type or the size, you could just continue to use this method. So I would just do a container inside the column. So container row. Yeah, I'll just do nested containers and rows and columns. That's what we'll do. And then yeah, and then make it 12 when it's 3, and 12 when it's 4, and 4 when it's 12, you know what I'm saying? So, call xs equals 4, md equals 12.4. Check this out. Easy mode. And then, yeah, so when it's in grid mode, it will take up the full width of the small box, and when it's in list mode, it will just take up the left side. And then the other two will be 8s instead of 4s. So we're just gonna do 2 more columns. So 8 8, 8, 8, K. Item.description, item.notes, K. And then, of course, we'll put something around that to make it a little prettier. We'll make the item description bold, the notes non-bold, etc. Check that out. See how that looks. Okay, it's something. What in the world? Huh. Why? That's a big sausage. What is going on here? Let's have a look. Okay. Why is it expanding out? That image is taking up way too much space. Okay. Well, one thing is to just put a hard limit on the image, and I think that's what I'll do. So let's get a rough idea of this size. So the problem is I want it to be responsive. So I think just making the image be 100% the width of whatever it's allowed to take up, because it's just expanding beyond. Yeah. Spect image. Let's see. Overflow X. Overflow. Click margin. Okay. Overflow. You know, how about this? That sort of helps. Jesus. Yeah, that's excessive. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Yeah, so just a little. That was my first guess, but I wanted to try other things first before assuming that. But yeah. No, not Windows. Width. Equals. Do I want to stretch it out necessarily? I should make it max width to 100%. Is max width? Can max width be a percentage? I'm sure it can. Well, let's try it. See what happens. Yeah. There we go. So now it's starting to come together. And then, of course, you know, you got... but I do need to put a bit of vertical margin. Vertical margin, a little border, you know. Yeah. But it's getting there. It's really coming together quite nicely. Of course, very responsive. Design is very human. Of course, when you reach a certain size, it reverts to list regardless. That worked perfectly. That clever use of conditional MDs and hard XSs did exactly what I wanted it to. I thought I was going to have to define my own app media CSS class, but no, it just did exactly what I wanted. No fuss. I need to make sure the scroll bar is on the containing element and not the. Yeah, so let's see. Container style equals overflow auto. Let's get the height of the left sidebar. Expect left nav. All right, where's my left nav height? I'll just have to find it in the code. Left nav. Height calc. Yeah, so overflow auto. So yeah, item model, item service, item. Where are you? Dashboard page. Okay, so overflow auto. So at that point, if I'm putting multiple styles, I might as well make it a class. So let's get a class in here. Dashboard module. Item card. We don't need anything in here just yet. Oh, we do want some margin. Margin top. Just for now, just to see what happens. Oh, hold on. That class is missing from the header call, so let's just class name styles dot what I call again? Item card. Yeah, item card. Yeah, we'll just pop that in there. Okay, so a little spaced out. Okay, so maybe I want two top. It's not making a difference. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, that's right. I got it important if it's overriding something in a. So that means one top might have been good enough. Yep, one top. One top is good enough. Item card. Where are ye? Okay. Let's just see two. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it as 2. Yeah, so I guess. Yeah, I gotta put the important, and I want it as 2. Yeah, 2 top, 2 bottom. That gives it 4 between. And it ensures. Oh, my window was partially occluded by my. Here I thought the bottom of the page was getting cut off, but it was actually the window itself was occluded by my start bar. Okay, so this whole time it was going all the way to the bottom, so that's something. So next, height calc. Okay. Okay. Container. Overflow auto. So what this should allow is, oh, I have to actually set that class, don't I? Still, item card, class name. That's annoying. Oh no, it's there. Wait. Hold on, I'm already using class name. Wait, dashboard outer. Oh. Okay, if I'm already... Oh my goodness. I completely missed that. I already had a class defined for that. Dashboard outer. Margin top. Max width. Width. Margin left. That's it. Yeah, so I'll just do that. Remove that. I can't believe I missed that. Because I did that however many days ago. Okay. Yeah. So, what's the issue? Div. Dashboard outer. Oh. Hold on. Module. Margin top minus. Okay. Still 2 scroll bars? Okay. Let me find the height then. Height. We're doing FGH. 830 pixels. Height minus 1 REM plus. Oh, it's 2 REM. Gotta pay attention. Gotta pay attention. Some attention to detail. There we go. That fixed it. Yeah, so, yeah. Margin top 2 REM. This could be 2 REM. And then, of course, 56 pixels is the height of the. So it's the full screen height minus the height of everything else above it. And that way, when you scroll, your left side is still in place, and the left side scrolls separately. Okay, switch to this view. Same deal. This is really coming together. This is the day things really started to pick up. Oh, what's going on here? Oh. Oh, have to account for that now, huh? I believe that's another 56 pixels in it. That's another 54 pixels. And that was only 54. Also, well, one bar is one bar at that point. So it's not a big deal on mobile, but yeah, it works on mobile. Yeah. So I have to account for that, so yeah. I should just make both bars 56 high, so yeah, whatever. Plus 54, so 110. Okay. So I still need net media. And yeah, max width. Max width 991. Max width. Oh, sorry. Dashboard outer. And that. I think it's got to be in that order to override. Yeah. Now, of course, we do a little that. And we have one scroll bar. Beautiful. Beautifully responsive. Okay. So, that's that. Now I would like to add a little border. Border. Solid. Just a little something. I wonder if you can add margin without it being an issue. I might not be able to use calls, after all. That's the problem. So let's log out of this. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Let's open the blog real quick. So one thing I went with in the blog app, I'll have to terminate this. So I have client PM run dev server bin rails s. Might take a second. Still in error? Oh. It's weird. Server's not running. Still. It's taking us so long. Server took way too long to start up. That was weird. There we go. Okay. Okay. That was my password? Okay, so we have these that are nice and evenly spaced. If we go, for example, to admin root, and we just add and these are a grid item. This is a this is MUI grid. But I really don't want to mix the MUI grid with the although it still has the same excess thing. I should look up the MUI breakpoints. Make sure it's the same pixel widths as the Bootstrap breakpoints. At least for 991 for to 992 for the border between SM and MD. Let's see, 12. Yep, that would do what I want. Grid container, justify content left, spacing 2. Yeah, that's something to try. Although I'm running out of time tonight too. I only have 5 minutes left, and it's a Wednesday, so I really can't go over by too much without getting true. Well, I like what I have so far somewhat. It could be better. Oh, wrong one. I, of course, wouldn't use paper. I would use the container call, but yeah. Although I wonder if React Bootstrap has grid type component. similar. Oh, they do. Grid system layout grid. One grid call. Oh, this is just using containers rows calls for the grid system. Oh, no. I need columns of spaces between them is the issue. But not gaps, just spaces. Problem is the columns touch each other. Inside here, and unless I was willing, well, another approach I could take to this. Another approach I could take is putting a little padding inside and then putting the border around that. I could switch to the MUI grid system and that would work. Or I put a little padding inside my column, inside my call objects. And that way I'm not mixing MUI and Bootstrap components in the same component. I really don't want to have alternating MUI and Bootstrap nested elements inside each other, or if there's an update to one and maybe the breakpoints change or something, it'd be a nightmare to maintain long term. Terrible idea. I try to keep MUI strictly to admin UIs and try to use solely, if possible, if maybe the exception of like paper for user stuff. Okay, that was stuck logged in. Typed in the wrong password. Yeah. One thing I don't want to do is, it was a thought because that grid did look kind of the way I want for admin, but if I were to make it be row, then inside this row is a grid container, and then these are grid items with the same XS, MD. I have to worry about, are MUI breakpoints even the same as Bootstrap breakpoints? No, they are not. 900. Yes, that would be a nightmare already, because we're dealing with 900 breakpoint for one thing and 992 for another, or whatever the hell it was. It was 992. Yeah, that would be terrible. Don't mix those. Yeah, 992. Yeah, so don't want to be mixing MUI and Bootstrap like that. So instead, item card. Instead of a border on item card, on the item card class, how much padding is there? It's clearly padding. Padding on the left and right, but not so much on the top and bottom. So let's just look at how much padding there is on a column. Computed. Let's just bring this up. Padding. 12 pixels. It's just 12 pixels. It's not REM. I don't know. I favor REM for whatever reason. I have no legitimate technical reason for favoring it. I just generally favor it. So, here you go. Remove the border. Padding. REM. Important. Okay, and item card inner. Inner. Yeah, make sure you're using them together. Okay, border solid px border radius. Oh, 100%? Oh, I really don't have any good examples of a good-looking border radius lying around. What's this for? For buttons? APX. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Okay, and then dashboard page. Styles dot item card inner. There we go. That's something. Okay, that's something I could work with. Proper space in between them. Not sure where my padding is on top. Item card inner. Item card. Oh. 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 Okay. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Or move that rather. Left nav. Sorry. Item. It's just. Yeah, it should really be on there. There we go. That's the look we're going for. Sort of. It's getting there. Then, we'll bold the description, add notes below. I mean, there should be notes on some of these. Do I not have notes on any of these? Let's just fudge it. Notes. Chipped. Lost. Broken. A lot of 82. Phone. Wash the shore. France. Okay. And we'll just do that, and go, and chipped, lost, broken. Okay. So there we go, we have some descriptions. Kind of want to maintain a consistent height though. But I think they'll save that for tomorrow. I think so far so good. Just want to make the description bold and why didn't they become... Oh, there we go. Chipped, lost, broken. Huh. I could have sworn that the way calls worked, this would have been up here next to that, but... Maybe not in this version of Bootstrap. Yeah, this is full height for real. Flex. With 66%, but flex wrap. Wrap reverse, inherit, initial, or just think it's odd. Huh. Now, in the Angular application I maintain for work, the version of Bootstrap we're using for that is such that if you have three columns in a row and one of them is 4 wide and 2 of them are 8 wide and the two 8 wides are shorter, they'll wind up getting tucked up. The second one will wind up getting tucked up in here, and these will be maybe, yeah, if I want to control that though and make sure it always works that way, then I'm going to have to do it a little differently anyway, because what happens if there's a ton of text and it spills out anyway, then it's pushing other things down. That's a whole mess. So what I might want to do is lose these, right? Okay, label, so that that's bold. Yep. And just that for now. We can let's fit more tomorrow, but right now it's let's just do. Okay. Okay, so far so good. Everything is pretty tight, pretty clean. I mean, the height inconsistency between the cards needs a little work, but other than that, we're good. Right, list view works well. Yeah, so tomorrow I could start working on implementing search as well as category filtering. I'll have to start actually adding items that are relevant to those categories. But yeah, we now have a working item display. Just 2 hours and change, and it's nice and responsive. Switches to list view on smaller screens. Maybe the spacing between them vertically could be cut back a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I kind of want the 2 up here, so maybe just remove the bottom, but I also want there to be 2 spaces at the bottom, so maybe what I'll do is just leave the 2 REM at the top, and then at the bottom of the whole thing add another 2 REM. That way the gap between them isn't 4. And then I'll call it. I gotta call it. Okay, so margin bottom. Let's just leave that. And maybe dashboard outer padding bottom 2 rem. Because that'll tuck everything up in. So we'll just do a margin right. Bottom. That gives us our little 2 rem at the bottom. There we go. And I'd say that's perfect. And of course, Garfield phones. Right. So that's it. I like this. I like how this just works. I just had a random little stroke of inspiration with using the column breakpoints to implement that. That was a real smart-ass move right there. Otherwise, I would have had to have had, I wasn't going to use columns. I was going to have to make I was originally going to roll my own CSS classes that would have an at media on it to force it back into list view on smaller screens, and it was going to be the base class was going to be the list view layout, and then the grid view layout would be an at media with a min width of 992 pixels that would override that and turn it into a grid instead, but who needs any of that? Just do a bit of this magic. I really, though, should set a max height on these because, oh my goodness, on larger screens that gets a little. So that'll be the first thing I do tomorrow. But I gotta call it here. But let's see. Messages. No messages. Okay. This is good. This is good so far. Yeah, I gotta put a max height on these images because this is wild. This takes up too much of the screen. The fact that you can see more on a smaller screen than on a bigger screen. If you're making a bigger screen show less, you're doing something wrong there. So I definitely got to put a max height on these things, these images. Other than that, this is good. So that's that. Same time tomorrow.